Hey everyone, this video is about home networking and the basics of it. I know that some of you have a grasp on the concept and some of you don't, so I hope this video helps you out. Home networking can be as simple as just calling your ISP and having them set up the modem or router combo that they come with, or it can be as elaborate as setting up your own network with an unmanaged switch or managed switch or a mesh network. There's really a lot of possibilities. So to start off with, let's start off with some terminology. So a modem is a device that converts data, analog data, to digital. Uh, that way, data can be transmitted through cable lines, Ethernet cables, telephone lines, even satellites. Um, we can go over DSL and cable modems at another time. Something else that you need to know is a router, which basically connects multiple networks together and it can also transmit data wirelessly. And then there's a switch which directs traffic within your network. That's not something most people will come across with their home networking. The switch that most people will use in their home networks will be built into the router that they have. So as basic as you can get, like I said earlier, just call your ISP, tell them that you need internet, and they'll come set your network up. They'll set it up with a basic name and then a scrambled password, and they'll give it to you, and you just connect your devices. You can still do a simple home network that's a step up above that. You can go out to a store or somewhere online, and you can go ahead and buy a router and a modem. You can do a router modem combo, whichever you would prefer. With that setup, all you have to do is plug in your modem to whatever, your telephone line or cable line, whichever you prefer, through your ISP, that is. Once you have that plugged in, your router connects to your modem via Ethernet cable. You set up your wireless internet and set up a password, and you're pretty much good to go. That's the route that a lot of people go, just so that way they can have their own devices. They don't have to pay a fee each month to have their ISP's device. Plus, that device can typically be taken from house to house whenever you decide to move, provided, if you have a DSL modem, you stay with DSL, or if you have a cable modem, you stay with your cable provider. When setting up your devices, some people will go the wired route, whereas some will do the wireless. If you want to do the wired route, you just have to make sure that your devices have Ethernet ports on the back of them, and your router has enough Ethernet ports on the back. Your router typically will have 4 Ethernet ports. They act as a switch and direct data throughout your network and allow your devices to communicate with each other. Why would you do wired? Well, typically your data will be more secure because it's not being transported through the air or transmitted through the air. It's typically more reliable because you don't have anything blocking your network, whereas wireless, you have to deal with the transmissions going through walls. Also, it tends to be more stable. You'll have a faster speed and you'll maintain that speed, whereas it's kind of up and down through wireless networks. Wireless technologies with your router, typically all routers that have the standard 802.11ac or Wi-Fi 5 use dual band frequencies. They'll provide a 2.4 gigahertz frequency bandwidth as well as a 5.0. Which one is better? Well, they both have pros and cons. For example, 2.4 gigahertz will actually travel at a further distance than what 5.0 gigahertz will. The reason is that lower frequencies can penetrate through solid surfaces better. 5.0 gigahertz bandwidth has a higher bandwidth and less devices on it. So the 2.4, not only will it have whatever device you choose to put on that bandwidth, but it has whenever your microwave is on, that uses the same frequency. Baby monitors, Bluetooth, cordless phones, garage door openers. There are several devices that use that 2.4 gigahertz bandwidth that could potentially crowd the network and slow it down a little bit. Um, so which is better really kind of depends. If you're on the edge of your network, 2.4 gigahertz will probably be better for you. But if you're near your router and you're trying to stream a game or videos, movies, whatever it may be, the 5 gigahertz typically is better, but it's situational. With your routers, you can buy dual band or tri-band or mesh routers. Dual band will put out one 2.4 gigahertz and 1.50 gigahertz frequency. Tri-band will put out two 5.0 gigahertz frequencies and one 2.4 gigahertz frequency. Tri-band will not speed up your network versus a dual band, but it does help with congestion by adding another lane to the highway, so to speak. The other option is a mesh network. Basically what that is you have a router plugged into your modem. It sends out your network. Well, you plug in two more routers throughout your home or business, and what that'll do is if they're in range of that first modem or first router's network, then they will rebroadcast that network, essentially expanding your network. If you want to get real technical with your home network, you can start throwing in additional devices. So we've already covered you can do a router and a modem, router-motor combo. You can even throw in mesh networks. If you want, you can do a switch. That switch will actually help with expanding a wired network. If you want to run cables throughout your house, you're going to need a switch you can plug into those RJ45 keystones in the walls, and that will then connect to your switch and provide a connectivity to your network. Excuse me, sorry. Now, switches, they usually come between 4 to 48 ports. 48 ports is definitely overkill for a home. 4 ports, 4, 5, 8, 12, and 24 ports are typically what you'll find in a home. 24 is still a little bit overkill, but a larger home could potentially have that. My network personally does have a modem, a router, a switch, and several devices that are plugged into my switch. Why did I do that? Well, it cleans up my living room from having a bunch of devices such as like smart light hubs, security systems in there, just several different devices. Moved them downstairs into my office with the switch, cleans up the living room. Also, more reliability out of the network, faster speeds, and overall just more secure, having less on the wireless network. Wireless networks, if you have a really good password, you have a firewall built in and all of that, then chances are you're safe. But nothing's perfect. There is still that possibility to lose some security there. I hope this video has helped clear up some of the confusion about home networking, 2.4 versus 5.0 gigahertz frequency bandwidths. If you have any questions, comments, something I didn't cover, something you want me to go in more depth on, let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. Thank you.